Call the school board meeting to order of December 17th. Dave, a roll call please.
Ron.
Here.
Dick.
Here.
John.
Here.
Nope. Here. Dave here. Joe.
Here.
Jim.
Present.
Proof of notice,
As stated on the agenda.
approval of the agenda. Motion by Nord. Second. Second by Joe. Any questions on the agenda? Nord?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Citizens' comments. Resolution 1819-124, approval of minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Dave, second by Norm. Questions on the minutes? Dave?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0. Dave, any communications?
Not at this time.
Okay. Jim, you ready for treasurer's report?
Yes. Treasurer's report for Monday, December 17th of 2018. Total of all expenditures for November of 2018 was $1,257,650.65. Our investment pool as of the end of November, general account, $372,023.98, interest earned of $1,700.12. Debt service account has balance of 14 cents. Non-refundable debt balance of $1,261.24, or an interest of $2.35. Total investments of in government investment pool of $373,285.36. Our Teresa State Bank account as of the end of November, general fund has $371,684.51, or an interest $765.29. Money market general account balance of $10,947.92, or an interest of $18.59. And our Fund 46 Trust has $1,214.36, or an interest of $1.70. And for a total investment to Essex State Bank, $383,846.79. For our total cash investments end of November 2018, $757,132.15. And then there's a listing of all of our referendum-based bills and balances.
For the treasurer's report, we have resolution 1819-125, approval of the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by
Second.
Dave. Any questions on the treasurer's report? Joe?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried 7-0. Resolution 1819-126, approval of regular semi-monthly bills. Motion.
So moved.
Motion by Norm, second by Ron. Questions on the bills?
It's Feindorf. I see there's some bills in here for Feindorf. Is that over and above?
Yeah, there's some that are like side jobs that they're doing for us. There's some that are direct billed, like little things that are outside of their contract that we have. So like a good example, we're looking at the middle school, at some of the windows and doorways that we'd like to install in the pods. So we actually opened up classrooms, we like to put them back together again. And with that work, that'll be outside of the rec lines. So that's what those things are. That should be pretty minimal though.
Any other questions? Hearing none, Norm?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Resolution 1819-127, approval of per diem.
So moved.
Motion by Norm,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any changes?
Yeah, scratch the 16.
Okay. Everything else is good. Norm?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Administrative report.
As far as from the superintendent here, you're gonna hear most of my reports when we get back from winter break, as far as some updates and some progress that we've made. As far as like trying to get a census update, population study, I mentioned that. I also will be talking about our tutoring program and some of the good big effort that we made towards creating that in our community, so stay tuned. Right now, tonight, we're a little vacant behind us. There's a 3-4 concert tonight. There's a 6-8 concert tomorrow night. And then on the 19th, everybody, you are invited to come and join us at 3:30. We're having a social event with all staff in the district are invited to come up to the high school and just see the progress we made with the facility and just have some fun before we head out for break. On the 20th, there's a 5th grade concert at the middle school, and then we have early release on the 21st. So we come back on January 2nd, and with that, that's when the notice of candidacy is due. So people need to come and pick up the paperwork. We will have the office open for most of the days that are not considered holidays, but the office will be open. But people just need to make sure anybody that is running, that they have to come and pick up that paperwork and get it turned in by that date. Janet mentioned that it is on the website as well, so.
All the papers and instructions.
So then the January board meeting is January 7th, so save the date, and then they'll be busy, the convention's coming up in a couple weeks after that.
Okay, when was the big party?
So we're gonna have, this week, Wednesday.
We're just wondering how many have
Oh my goodness, you ready for that? Holiday headwear.
And she's lovely sweater day. That's the dress up day, I think.
Mhm.
When was
I don't own a ugly sweater.
When's this Wednesday at the high school at 3:30?
This Wednesday?
Yep, we're gonna start in the cafeteria and break into some small groups and go have some fun and check out the building and the progress we made. So we did have it's called Phase 2. So Phase 2 of the construction project was opening up the new construction, as well as the cafeteria, the fitness center, and the upstairs. There's a whole section of classrooms that was added on scope that we were able to complete this summer. So as of today, I would say those are 99% complete, which is great. So greenhouse training is coming. I think it's this, I have like schedule conflicts after schedule conflicts. So greenhouse training is on the 19th. We were able to sell the greenhouse, it turns out. So I think I saw Mr. Fink up there as I was leaving, working on helping to do
Clean it out.
to clean it out, and we do have a buyer. So we just need to work the kinks out with that, but it looks like all is
He was
great.
just here when I left today, so.
So we've got another school district that's buying the
No big one,
old.
but just enough to.
Still, it's good. It's not going, the
Still is
greenhouse
great.
is being reused, so, which is awesome.
So that'd be disassembled and
Yeah,
moved
correct.
and
Yep, So we were able to verify that there is no asbestos in it. So if it had asbestos, it was gonna have to just be demoed. The amount of cost we would spend to remove the asbestos, like the caulk and that kind of stuff. But after some perseverance, we were able to verify that there's no asbestos, and just in the nick of time too, so that we're able to sell it. So a little bit of scrambling, but the good news is we're moving.
How do they
and
sell
That's
it?
great. What's that?
How do they go about selling? Is it put it on the auction site?
So FFA alumni in our FFA chapter have been kind of getting the feelers out to the local FFA chapters. We thought we had a buyer coming from the south, and instead we've got a buyer coming from the west.
At first, they wanted to take it down in fall, then all at once, hey, it's got asbestos in it. You know, by the time you get the wheels rolling and get everything rebuilt.
It was a gift to the district by the FFA back in the day.
Yeah, the
So the
FFA and the
the
alumni
alumni.
bought it originally.
So we let them take the lead. So did they do a big, huge RFP to the world? No, but they did do a network and got it out to the area FFA chapters to see who were interested in it. Because I know right now the buyer is not the original buyer that I was told was coming. So I know there was plenty of networking that was done in order to come up to that.
And
So-
the kids are gonna disassemble it, they've got a special group that does that kind of work, builds houses and whatever.
But it's going from one school to another school is what's important. So.
All right, thank you. Becky, what you got going on this
Actually,
week?
I have pretty, I got some stuff to show you, actually.
Pictures.
So we've talked a lot about, in the presentations you've seen about our core and what we are working towards, and the ideas of growth mindset and visible, vertical alignment of targets and standards, and then what I put together for you is some demonstrations of what our learners are doing at Parkview to give you some idea of the visible learning that's going on, what the kids are able to do. So I snapped some pictures. This last few weeks have been actually really fun for me to be out in the classrooms. So some pictures about how the kids are knowing what they are learning and what they are to be working towards. You see, in this picture here, this is a first grader. You can see this card kind of sitting right there by her. When you take a closer look at the card, it's two sides, and one side talks about 2 goals that she has for her reading when she's working on reading, that the teacher, you can see her arm right there, reminds her of. So it has some visuals in it, but it says check your letters that match the sounds that are in the word, stop when it doesn't sound right or make sense, and reread carefully. And then goals for writing as well. So this little learner who is needing a little bit of extra reading and help has those goals that she is working to her in front of her all the time. Here is, these last 3 photos come out of a first grade classroom. Learners, when they take their pre-test for writing, the teachers then go through, we're not quite there where the kids are setting goals and they are first graders, but the teachers are looking at the assessments they take prior to starting a writing unit, and then help develop some goals that those kids are going to work on. And those goals are placed right on their writing folders. So when the teacher comes around to conference with these little ones, those goals are accessible to be able to talk to the kids about it. The lesson that I observed last week, I actually had these kids going through this checkoff chart. They were at the end of a writing unit, and they were asking the kids to go through and assess, does your writing demonstrate all of these key parts to writing a nonfiction? So they were writing a teaching story or a teaching book. So the teacher modeled it, but each one of these steps was a place where the kids could check off not yet or yes. Once they got all the way through, then the kids who had not yets had a chance to meet with the teacher or go back and start working on those not yets to improve their writing even more. And then you can see a little one in action right there going through and starting to look over her chart. So these kids are knowing, probably more in my time that I've been at Parkview this year and in the last year, than I've seen in a long time. They are really well aware of what it is that they are to be working towards. This next slide is actually a video I want to show you. This is a 2nd grader. One of our 2nd grade teachers, Mrs. Holsema, has her learners once a week sit down with their Chromebooks, find a quiet place, and he's not in a classroom, he's actually out in our hallways there. And they all are asked to make a video to their parents to talk to them about what they learned over the course of that week. And these get shared through a program that's called Class Dojo. So parents have instant access to this. But Mr. Sable, if you're able to click the play button. It's only about a minute long, but this is Owen, and Owen is sharing with his mom.
Hi Mom, I'm proud of myself because I did a lot of math equations in math. My goal for next week is to get my gold star for reading standard 2.5. So my reading standards are things you have to complete to be ready for 3rd grade. And I've already mastered 2.1. So this is the mastery sheet. And you get a gold star here and a gold star, and the gold star you get to put on. You get to put a gold star on a chart in our classroom. And you got to complete these practice ones to get mastery. This one here says ready for mastery. That was the one that I got for mastery. Bye, Mom.
Stars haven't changed in 50 years, have they?
Gold stars are still a really powerful incentive, yes. So as he is talking, these second graders are tracking, they know the learning standards. These are what we have prioritized as a team. The kids are aware of them. They know what the learning targets are. He talks about having mastery. Those binders that they have several practice sheets that they do. When they think they are ready for mastery, they'll conference with the teacher. They put it in a basket. The teacher knows these are the ones they need to conference with. And if they're not ready, the teacher sends them back to practice some more, and they have to find another story and practice the same skills again until, after having a couple of conferences, they're ready to accomplish that mastery task. So I thought that was fun to hear these little ones. And just side note, last week I had a second grader. His mom came to pick him up early. She's signing him out in the office, and the first thing he says to him is, "Mom, I am working on standard 2.5. Do you know what a text feature is?" You know what a text feature is, right? And she's like, "No, honey, I don't know what a text feature is." So it's fun to listen to them talk in that language, as little as they are. It's fun to hear. And then can you, this one's from the video, it doesn't quite advance for me. Could you just click for me, please?
Are we getting the high schoolers to talk that way?
And then just another picture is teacher learning is happening at Parkview as well. So we have, kind of in response to, we had a fewer number of professional development days or in-service days this year. So Parkview kind of came up with its own plan so we could kind of keep our eyes on the prize with our SLO that we have written, et cetera, which is focuses on numeracy and on literacy. So for the remainder of this year, we take 2 days a trimester, one that focuses on literacy, one that focuses on numeracy. And we're bringing rotating subs in. So every grade level gets about 2 hours as a team to be able to sit down with someone. In this case, we used our math interventionist, Stacy Walworth, and Karen Halsema. They ran this particular PD for our teachers on the idea of mathematical numeracy and just getting our kids to be very comfortable with numbers. So again, 2 hours with each grade level team they got to spend with them and do some work. On January 8th, when we come back from break, that will be our first meeting that we have that's a literacy focus. And then Laura Hanisch and Lori Gutzman will help provide the supports for that. So we're using the knowledge and the skills that we have within our building to continue to develop our teachers so that they can continue to bring good things to our kids.
I want to just comment on one thing, and that is that I really appreciate Becky following up and adding some of these professional days into the calendar. So what we did this year, being budget friendly, is we put some major professional development days in the summer. So we cut down on the amount of stipends that we were paying. And we loved it, like very targeted professional development. All the feedback from staff for our numeracy training, literacy training was good stuff. So we want to continue that for sure. The tough part is the give and take is we have fewer days than during the school year. So we're getting creative with how to address that. One of the tough parts is in the state of Wisconsin, there's a major sub shortage. So earlier in the evening, a comment was made, there's signs out saying hiring. Actually, that's one of the primary things we're looking for in our substitute teachers. And at the CISA meeting last week, Friday, they talked about are people interested in paying for billboards? And for us, where's the billboard, everybody? So not really interested because it's too far away from us, but up in the Appleton, the Fox Valley, they got those giant billboards. And the billboards up in Green Bay actually drew in, I think they had about 75 people come to the training for substitute teacher training. And they said like half of them were off in Green Bay, and it's the billboards that caught their attention. They identified that. So we're looking at probably bringing the updated, a new calendar for 1920 coming forward. And it's the good work by the teachers and listening to the voices of the people that are helping to shape what that calendar looks like. So stay tuned. It's probably not going to be exactly what we have right now. We're trying to be responsive to the professional development that are staffing. So.
This little lady is our first upstander at Parkview. I'm not sure if you recall, Upstanders is a program that started from Jackie Middlestat last year. And it's identifying the kids who stand up to when they see something not going right. It could be a bullying situation where these little ones, rather than we're watching for kids who are not just being bystanders and watch it happen, but are able to step forward and use their words, use their voices to help get something to stop. So upstanders, so you're an upstander rather than a bystander. This young lady, after going through one of our new programs that we were able to purchase this last spring, and that is being implemented K through 5, which is called Second Step. Second Step had a bullying prevention component to it that Jackie Middlestat used with our little ones and went through with our little ones at the very beginning of the school year. It's fun to actually see something like that in action. So I sat and I watched and I listened to Jackie's presentations, and there were specific sentences that she practiced with these kids when they saw something that they needed to report to an adult, and says, I need to report bullying, can you help me? This was our first young lady who went up to her second grade teacher and said, I need to report bullying, can you help me? And she explained to the teacher what happened. The teacher came and spoke to me. This was not even a situation that was happening to this little girl. It was something that she saw happening to another classmate. And sure enough, in investigating it and using the protocol that we received from Second Step, it was exactly what she had observed. We were able to identify it and fix it. I check in with the little boy who was part of it still on a regular basis to make sure things are going well. But this little one is an example of what Second Step can do for a school. So upstanders, I wanted to just celebrate that because it's a wonderful thing that we have, that we're recognizing kids for that Second Step program is really becoming a benefit for us in terms of seeing where the kids are learning in practice. Finally, our concerts were a couple weeks ago, so Sounds of the Season, some snapshots from our second grade concert, first and second grade concert in the bottom left, kinder in the top right, and bottom right is our 4K friends from St. Mary's singing their Must Be Santa song. We had Literacy Night a couple of weeks ago. From Santa, a big thanks to Judge John Stork. He comes and has been our Santa for the last probably 4 or 5 years now when he's been able to be Santa Claus. But you have families who were finding places to read. We were decorating cookies. We provided a free meal for all of the families who attended. We served 315 families and people that evening. Still this week, we've got the NHS Sing-Along. National Honor Society is coming down to Parkview to sing along with the kids on Friday morning. And we have our final Cardinal Way celebration for the rest of for 2018. We'll come back in January for the next one. So I wanted to make sure, I know it was long, but I wanted to show you some of the good things that are happening at Parkview, because there's good things going on there.
Very nice.
That's what I like to see.
Something would be great to share too is just some kiddos in action with the teacher in the makerspace.
Oh, sure.
You want this? I'm so used to passing it over. All right.
Thanks, Becky.
Yep.
Possible future action items. Unfinished business. New business. We have resolution 1819-128, approval of co-curricular contract for Emily Sell for middle school forensics.
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Second by Ron.
This is just one of those that got missed, so I think we're all caught up from review with the team. So this is for our middle school forensics program. Ms. Sell is in her 5th year of doing this for us, and done a nice job. So the key part with the stipends are they get paid in the month of December and the end of the school year, so just in time.
Any questions on this